Welcome to CPG Vibes. No script,
just chat.
I'm Alex Baer.
And I'm Wade Yenny.
Each episode is recorded live, and we talk all things food and beverage, and so much more.
Feel our vibe and search for CPG Vibes on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and make sure to give us a 5-star review.
If you'd like to sponsor our show with your product or service, email us at cpgvibes100@gmail.com.
Now, let's vibe.
All right, welcome to episode 112 of CPG Vibes. No script, just chat. We're here on I'm sure it's a beautiful Friday somewhere. I'm in Chicago right now traveling. I'm in a hotel right now, as if you couldn't notice, different background from my normal background. And it's raining over here in Chicago. But before we get into all that and CPG, Wade, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing good, Alex.
I'm
officially a free agent as of today. I'm doing good. It's 60, 65-ish degrees here in beautiful North Carolina. I've had an eventful day, officially closing ends on my current journey and looking ahead at what's next. It's been eventful. So I'm not traveling like you. I'm still in my background, but I'm doing good. No complaints.
Awesome. And just for those that are curious why I'm in Chicago, it's not to watch, a baseball game or something like that. No, the Specialty Coffee Expo is at the Convention Center here in downtown Chicago off of Michigan or near Michigan Street. And my wife is in the coffee industry. So I'm here kind of playing daddy duty, taking care of our son in the hotel room, taking him out when it's not pouring rain and windy as hell out there. So it's been fun. I'm here till Sunday and then heading back to sunny California. So it's actually going to be raining in California when I get back. So there you go. That's what I'm doing.
Awesome.
All right. So we have a lot of things to get through here, and we have comments as well. We're going to shout all of you out. But first off, just some laundry list items. We wanted to proudly still continue to announce that we are the number 1 rated CPG podcast in North America. So thank you again to everyone for continuing to give us high ratings, the 5-star rating on Apple Podcast. And for those that have not given us a rating yet, go to Apple Podcast. Very easy to do. Look for our show, scroll to the bottom and hit 5 stars and give us a review. We depend on those in order to grow our podcast and get in more devices, right? More people listening to it. Also, if you'd like to sponsor our show, make sure to email cpgvibes100@gmail.com. We have some sponsorships that actually Wade, it's with the growth and surge of our show, partly because of us, but mostly because of our community supporting us. The sponsorship slots are filling up, and I believe they're filled up till June at this point. So make sure to get on that train if you want to book a sponsorship for the summer, cpgvibes100@gmail.com. And we have block rates. So if you get your first one is on a discount. If you get 3 or more, there's a discount. 5 or more, there's a discount. Always good to have repetition. Also, we have a Slack channel. So make sure to go to cpgvibes.slack.com and request to join. And we will bring you into the fold, into our beautiful Slack channel where we can help each other. We have announcements. We have sponsorships on there. We have prizes on there. So make sure to head over there and join our CPG Vibes community. And then we have our ongoing sponsors, right? So we have Range Me, which you can, if you're watching live, you can see there's a QR code in the bottom right corner. And we also have V Driven. So a little bit we're just going to quickly talk about who they are and what they do. So Range Me helps brand drive awareness and engagement with retailers, through an easy to use platform that has more than 15,000 buyers. Listeners can get discounts on Range Me Premium and Pro subscriptions, which include direct product submissions and retailers, access to Nielsen IQ category data, which is very important to running your business, and even in-person meetings. You can get those with their membership. So make sure you can go to the landing page, rangeme.com/CPG-vibes. You can also scan the QR code there. Wade, do you want to handle the V-driven one so I can take a breath?
I would love to handle the V-driven one. So the V-driven one is there. I've got the link up on the screen now. V-driven is a leading consulting and brand management firm specializing in strategic guidance and brand representation for emerging and mid-sized CPG brands, offering services from direct sales to key natural retailers, CPG accounting, and deduction management. They deliver tangible solutions for brands to achieve their full potential. They understand the importance of cash flow for your business. That's why they're offering, listen up, a 25% discount on the first month of their services to CPG brands. Mention the code, listen, CPG Vibes 25 when you reach out to them at www.vdriven.com. Schedule a call. And if you just mentioned during the contact, Luke Abbott, who is the CEO founder of V-Driven, just mentioned CPG Vibes. They're going to hook you up. But they're a fantastic asset to emerging brands, and I encourage everyone to check them out.
Awesome. Okay, I got my breaths in. I got my
now I'm out of breath. I'm out of
now,
breath now. Yeah.
Okay, now I come back, right? Tag team, just like
yes.
WrestleMania here. So and then we have also our weekly sponsor, who is Creative Kaiju. And they are offering a free 7-day subscription. That is the prize. So make sure to stay on here till the end of the show, where we'll give out a prize with a trivia question. But what is Creative Kaiju? Wade, I should start there.
Yep.
They're a design agency that offers unlimited graphic design as a monthly subscription with no contracts. It's the perfect pairing for a CPG brand looking to grow. They do branding, they do design, they do sell sheets, they do AI, stuff with your bottle or your packaging. They put into different scenarios, and instead of hiring a designer, which is a salary of $72,000 typically, if you hire a full-time designer, they are at a low price of $5.99 per month, unlimited graphics, all through a portal, and you can win a free 7-day subscription. So that's our weekly sponsor. All right. So I guess anything else we're missing here? We're going to go into just what we're talking about this week, right? So thanks for bearing with us. We're definitely adjusting to the sponsorships and making sure that they get their love that they deserve. Let's do old school. Let's do some shout outs here. And then we're going to get into the topic for this week, which is really just about running a CPG brand, the challenges, the hardships, the landmines that many, many brands face and how to overcome those, which, Wade, I think if I could get an award as a CPG entrepreneur, would be for hitting the most landmines on a battlefield as a CPG founder. I think I would get number one for that one. So some comments here. We got Allison Clay, starting from the bottom to the top. When I say bottom, I mean the bottom of the list here on this comments. Allison, you're not at the bottom.
You started from the bottom, now you're here.
Yeah, you're here. Exactly.
Yeah.
It went from the bottom to the top. Made it. Happy Friday, y'all. Poolside from Florida. Life is hard. Congratulations. Love it. Sean Berg, free agent. Don't hire Scott Boras right now. Okay. Not sure what that means. We got LinkedIn user. Happy Friday, y'all. Robert Kogan, what's up, my man? He's been traveling all over the place, from the US to Canada. He went to the CHFA, right, last week, which is not in Toronto. I thought it was in Toronto, but it's in a different city in Canada. So he was posting about that and been on our Slack channel pretty actively. So Robert, what's going on?
And we're going to be talking a lot more about Robert and Canada and opportunities in Canada for emerging brands in weeks and episodes to come. So stay tuned.
Absolutely. He's like as far as the go-to guy for brands in Canada and breaking into Canada, breaking into retailers there, distribution, all the knowledge you need in order to run a brand and expand in Canada. He's your man. So Robert Kogan,
number 3 market in North America. So stay tuned for more information about that.
Yep, absolutely. So we love Robert. So thanks, my man, for being on here. Hank Watt with Nature's Wildberry. Good seeing everyone. Rich Moniz with Rich Insights. We got Dan Weisbach with LA Libations. Just spoke to him yesterday. So Dan, what's going on, brother? Thanks for joining us. And Gavin Conkle, hola, buenos dias, amigos. All right, so Wade, this is taking a deep breath. This is a big topic, which is about the challenges and the landmines that we face when running a CPG brand. And I think, the first place that we've been talking about is just access to capital, getting capital to grow your brand, how to pitch it, how to get out there, and how to raise capital. And I think, we've been talking about that for weeks. So I like to start, I feel, which is a place you can add a lot of value, which is retailer selection, where to go with your product, and then obviously what kind of product you want to create. But let's start with retailer selection and distribution strategy. So I'm going to flip it over to you. What are some kind of high level thoughts on when you have a brand and you have a product, you're looking at it, you got pallets of it in your warehouse, where do you go to sell it? So what are your thoughts on that?
I think for me, it's about having a clear cut idea of what your brand is, who your target market is with regards to the end consumer, the retailers itself. We talk all the time about the natural channel, the specialty channel, especially Southern California. Alex, where you are with regards to, whether it's Erewhon, Bristol Farms, Jimbo's, Gelson, so on and so forth, having an idea of where your market is. If you're located, for example, I don't know, just making stuff up in New York, maybe your target market logistically isn't in Southern California to start with. I mean, just getting the product out there and whatnot, but just identifying who you want to sell to and then expanding in that particular region, and then growing it there. We say inch wide, mile deep. And doing so for a reason, so that you're not spending money that you don't need to spend logistically, right? So I use that example of New York to California, whether it's Texas, whether it's Florida. The farther you ship, the more money it costs. So knowing where you want to grow, and then planting a flag in the ground, right, and saying, here's where I'm at, and making sure your product succeeds there, and just holding firm there, working that ground, and just really aggressively going after your retailers, your customer base, and making the product successful. And then just looking beyond that, the next region, is it the Northeast? Is it the Midwest? Is it Texas, HEB, Central Market? Is it, going further out into, whether it's natural grocers, and then Southern California, and so on and so forth. Just really a clear-cut path to succeeding in the market. And Alex, I don't know if you want to expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, again, it really comes back to, you have to work backwards, right? Which is, you start with, what is your product about, right? Where should it go? I'm a big fan, like you said, of the inch wide, mile deep. I know it's been cliched and a lot of people are saying that, but dominating your backyard, just selling really well in stores that are within 10, 15, 20 miles of you, because you have better control over that, right? You're able to do demos. You're able to visit those stores. You're able to merchandise yourself and get a team around you, very close to you, that can hit these stores. And I've seen brands, like the brand Vibes, right? VYBES, right? The CBD product. And now they have a canned product as well with adaptogens, where they started in Southern California. They did millions in revenue in SoCal before really expanding outside of that area to New York and Seattle and Portland and other metro areas where this product can sell. They spent 3 years, just building it here, or when I say here, not Chicago, in SoCal, because I'm traveling right now. So I think that's important, and not being tempted for nationwide expansion too soon, until you have the money and the people, the resources, and the knowledge to support it, which goes into a whole other bucket, which is, once you start going national, you're now dealing with national distributors. You're dealing with Unify, KeHE, DPI, which is part of KeHE now, CNS, all these guys. And so you just have to know going in what happens when you go with a national distributor. There's chargebacks. Yeah, there's more oversight. You have to manage them more, make sure they order enough. They're definitely different from someone, say, like High Touch, right? And in their partnership with LA Libations, speaking of LA Libations, right? And so where you send High Touch a pallet, they know exactly what to do with it. They're going to take it to the stores. They're going to turn it over really fast. They're going to merchandise the shelves. It's DSD. It's high touch, literally. Unify and KeHE are not like that. It's a stop and drop. And then once it's dropped, you have to still get it to the shelf. So having a merchandising team to do that, I think, is really, really key. So I think that's the
Right.
main thing, is don't expand too fast. Make sure that you can handle the growth.
Right. Well, and understanding too that, you know, the more doors you get, the more product you have to have available to expand reorders and so on and so forth. And
Cash
and
flow.
it's
Cash
yes,
flow.
it's not just about, you know, you have distribution, call it in, you know, in 100 stores, but then tomorrow you land, you know, I'm not even going to name names, just a retailer that has 400 stores, 500 stores, 200 stores, whatever the number is, and then you ship them those cases to get the product on the shelf, but then your inventory is gone, your supply chain is empty. How do you fill that? Are you ready financially? You know, do you have the capital to produce more product? Do you have the logistics and the supply chain capability to backfill those products? So that's the thing to consider, is because speaking from a retailer's perspective, and I've said this 100 times, if my worst case scenario is an empty shelf, you know, it's not about the product's on the shelf and it starts to sell, but if I can't get more product in, that's a nightmare scenario for me, right? It's just dead space that is just not turning inventory for me, not turning dollars. And so you have to think about that. Are you ready to capital wise? Do you have those dollars to produce enough inventory to take care of the accounts should the product start selling? And that's what everyone has to be thinking about as you approach accounts and trying to grow your business. That if you're not using that mindset, you're in trouble.
Yeah. And I think, you think about brands, right? Like I mentioned these guys, and I posted them a couple days ago, where I'm out in, Chicago here, and I went to the local Target, right? And I was impressed. I go to the local Target, they're fully stocked with midday squares. So, I mean, like every SKU is on the shelf. It's nothing's missing. To do that requires a lot of coordination. And then you also have to have a great selling product as well. Like if the product sells well and people need the product, then usually the store is going to do a better job of taking care of that product. Because again, Midday Squares launched in 1,800 Targets, right? I think they're in all of them at this point. You can't have a person going into every Target. It's just freaking impossible. So if you have a great selling product, it kind of takes care of itself, where they want to stock it because it's fast moving. And that really gets into the next topic, which is your packaging, your product market fit. So I think there's been discussions on AI, which I'm still beginning to understand how this all works. Did you notice also when you post on LinkedIn, you can click to rewrite it in AI now? Do you notice that?
I have noticed that, and it's funny you mentioned that because I've been using AI for meetings as I'm #work with Wade. As I'm doing that, so there's different AI platforms that you can hit that. They're invited to your meeting, they're taking notes, and they're sending you a summary, an outline, follow up. It's beautiful. I mean, it's really, really spectacular. But yeah, I've seen it on LinkedIn. I haven't used it on LinkedIn as much, but it's really great.
Awesome. And I'm getting actually little foreshadowing here. This is, again, we don't usually do this on the show, but it's no script, just chat. I'm getting some text messages from Dan Weisbach and also from Danny Stepper. And we love Danny a lot. So I think what we'll do, Wade, I mean, again, we just take liberties in this shit, is we're just going to bring this guy on, because it's been about a year since we brought him on last, almost a year. So we're going to get him a link. We're going to get him in here to talk. And also, I think he's inspired by our topic to talk about challenges which everyone faces in CPG. And he's been around the block, so he's seen these challenges, right, personally and through the brands that he represents. So Danny will be in here probably about 5-10 minutes, and we'll bring him on. That's a little surprise here on the show. So there you go. But going back to it, we also have just product market fit, right? I think that's really, really key. And so when you are designing your packaging, but also more higher level, doing the research, what do people want? What are people going to buy? What are people going to pay for that product? And I think what I've learned is it needs to be an evolution, not a revolution. So evolve what is already in the market. So Olipop to, Coca-Cola, or Midday Squares to Hershey. It's just a better version of what people already love. And then also, is it shelf stable? Is it refrigerated? But I think, yeah, going back, you got to start from the basics. A lot of founders rush to try to create a product. And the biggest mistake that I see entrepreneurs make is they create something they love, right? That they're passionate about. But will that thing that you're passionate about actually be able to sell in a market? Will people actually want to buy that? And will they get it when they see it on the shelf for the first time? And there's a comment here from Melissa Pashko, who congrats on all your success with Jade Street. We have been reading up on your posts that nostalgic products are usually really popular. A better for you Kit Kat, a better for you Jelly Belly, a better for you soda, all that stuff. So I would also start with the product and the product market fit first and do research before actually spending money on it.
Well, it's funny because I've been having conversations with, as I said, so many people with regards to, I always talk about being retail ready. And when, looking at it from whether you're a consultant, whether you're looking at a broker, an outsider's perspective, when you're talking to someone that's succeeding at a farmer's market environment, right? No one likes to be told their baby's ugly. Right? Their baby's not the best quarterback. The baby's not the best cheerleader. The baby's not the best football, whatever it is. And so if you're selling out the farmer's market in an hour or two, and then you think you're ready for retail, that's not necessarily the case. So you start talking about packaging, you start talking about promotional activity and all these different things. If you have to have a strategy, you can't just go from an environment where you're producing product and selling it to family, friends, locally, small time, and succeeding long term. So it's very important that when you talk to people like Melissa, when you talk to people like you heed their advice, right? I mean, all of us here, everyone here that's listening to this now, whether you're in logistics, whether you're in supply chain, whether you're in sales, whether you're in retail, we all want the same thing. We want to sell more stuff. And so it's important that you open your mind and listen to people that are giving you, especially people that have been in the business longer than you, or perhaps been down the road that you're traveling and going through the same, bumps, obstacles, what have you. Listen to what they have to say. No one's trying to derail you. It's just very important that you understand. You can't just go from selling 10 cases at a farmer's market and walking home and with a smile on your face to being in a nationwide account and succeeding. It doesn't work that way.
Exactly right. You have to be very careful, and just know that every decision you make, especially towards the beginning, is highly, highly magnified. Because if you make a mistake from an early stage, that mistake will compound as you get bigger and bigger and scale your business, whether it's sourcing, margins, the wrong retailers, the packaging's not good. Like, it will only hurt you more and more as you grow your brand. And usually when things hurt you more and more, it costs you more and more money, which is a kind of a double whammy. So I wanted to, we just saw Danny just jump into the room here, and then he hopped out. Okay, we'll get him back. But let's talk about something, again, we didn't expect to talk about this, is really on the this beverage forum thing that's going on. Have you heard about this, Wade?
I'm sorry. I was trying to get all our comments over here. What? Ask me one more time.
Yeah, and we're going to shout out these comments right before we bring on Danny, but because Danny just hopped in the room here. But this beverage forum that I found out about a few weeks ago. Have you heard about this thing?
I have. I'm a free agent now, and I kind of wish I was headed that way. And maybe I need to talk to Mr. Danny about making an appearance there and having some fun with what's going on, because it sounds like it's going to be a great event.
Yeah, you can pitch him yourself. He's going to be on. Just do a one-on-one. We can all witness your pitch to Danny to get a ticket for this event. But the event is April 30th to May 1st, so it's a 2-day event. It's at the West Rift Hotel. I'm just Googling it. Manhattan Beach, California. That's pretty far away from me. That's me rolling out of bed in my pajamas, getting
I was
dressed
just gonna
in
say,
5 minutes.
I know somebody lives in that area. Oh wait, it's you. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do a self-drive Tesla over there, and I'll be sleeping on the way, and then I'll get there, right, in the morning. So, but tickets are available on beverageforum.com. And then Danny, again, and we're just pulling all this together because we didn't expect to bring him on, but here he is, the founder of LA Libations, a beverage creator, incubator, accelerator in SoCal. And then they're hosting this beverage forum. And the speakers, I mean, it's insanity. I think they, I'm again Googling this. They have Emma Chamberlain, Allison Ellsworth from Poppy, the CEO. They have Rodney Sachs, CEO of Monster, and tons of more people. So anyway, but let's bring him on for a few minutes. He's going to have some things to say about CPG and all that good stuff and the challenges, but also we can hear about the beverage forum as well. So Danny, how's it going, brother?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Danny?
No script, just chat. No script.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's been about a year since we last bring you on, so I think we're long overdue to get you back.
Yeah, no, it's great to see you guys. You're doing the Lord's work. I love it.
Yeah, we love what we do. So are you you at home or are you in the office? I can't tell.
I'm at LA Libations right now and kind of wrapping up my time in the office. I'm going to go Jeff Craigle, I don't know if you know Jeff, but he invited me to go to Snoop Dogg's compound. So I'm going to go over there and try it and see if I can talk Snoop Dogg into coming to Beverage Forum to show off his gin and juice brand. But that's a long shot, but I'm going to try it. Why not?
Fantastic.
I love it. Never know. You don't know until you try,
Got to try.
Totally. So let's talk about. I know you're only on here for kind of a short time here because you got to go see Snoop Dogg, which is much more important than being here. So tell us, what do you have to add as far as the color on CPG industry challenges? What are some kind of high level thoughts you have on how to avoid landmines in this business, which there's many of them? So what's some of your thoughts and advice, Danny?
So. Look, I love that you guys are kind of talking through this and being real and creating community around this, because the reality is this torturous life that we've all chosen is so hard. It is such a blood sport. The odds of success are so slim. And it's really, really difficult, as you guys are talking about. It's difficult, just the odds are so far against you. And so, everything, I haven't heard anything that you guys are saying that I don't agree with. I agree with all that. We've heard a lot about, inch wide, mile deep, all that. We all know that. By the way, I break that rule all the time. And I always just yell at myself, like, why did I do that? Like Zoe is a great example. Like if we launched
the Rock brand, right?
Yeah, the brand we launched with the Rock, Zoa, it's funny when you first start, you think you've nailed it, right? You're just convinced, like, this is amazing, it's awesome. And then you look back and go, what was I thinking? And I do this all the time. I've been doing this a long time. But, like Zoa, we launched in a black 16-ounce can because he wanted it to look like Monster. And, it was 5 SKUs with sugar, 5 SKUs without sugar. It's like, huh? And, it was just all wrong, but we launched on Broadway. We went everywhere, huge. And we're fortunate we have the ability to do that because of our relationships, but it never works. It never works out. And, so we had to, we did 80 million year one because he's so powerful, but that's because everybody bought it exactly once and never came back and bought it and never bought it again. Like if we'd have done it right and, worked out all the kinks, took consumer, most importantly consumer, but retailer and customer feedback, and then made those changes and tweaks and then scaled, and we had what we have now, it would be a much bigger brand, obviously. So I think that, and then the other thing, I was kind of raised by wolves in this industry, right? Like guys like Mike Rapoli and Lance Collins. And what I've learned is the exits are so few and far between. And we've been very fortunate to be a lot of them. And the reason we're fortunate to be a lot of them is because guys like that, even though they're the GOATs, they're the best, they still reach out and build partnerships all over the place. Like, I think that's what people realize is the people that want to go it alone and are super stingy with the equity, 0% of zero is zero, you know? And, you know, Mike Rapoli called me on Body Armor when he was 130 million in revenue. And he said, I need your help. Think about that. Think about that. And I was like, me? Like, you need my help? You sold vitamin water. Like, why do you need my help? And he's like, I'm struggling because, you know, Gatorade has these exclusives in 7-Eleven and Walmart and Costco, and I can't break them. My guys go in and talk to the buyers, and they say there's an exclusive. It's over my head. I need your help because I know you can go talk to the chief merchants and the CEOs. But I mean, it's just amazing to me. Mark Rapol is another one with Zico, you know, like he got us involved super early because it's hard. It like takes a village to get this. It takes a lot of energy to win in this game. And so you got to have partners, you got to have partnerships, and it feels, you know, you got to pick the right ones. You pick the wrong ones and bad things happen. And that happens a lot. You know, a lot of people run around and say they have relationships and they really just have contacts, you know, and the reality is there's some guy, like I see Luke Abbott on here. There's a great example of a guy that has great relationships. You know, he's been doing this for a long time, you know, doing what he says he's going to do. And, you know, that's a guy you should trust. You know, there are others out there that are new to the game and they think they got a buyer's contacts and they may have sold him one thing and they assume that they've got it all figured out, and those things usually go terribly.
So Danny, and I know we're short on time, but I know Alex has a question or two for you, but but just we have people that are with us live or that will be listening after the fact. What in a nutshell, if you were giving the Cliff Note version of LA Libations?
So
what would you say?
Everybody, I love the mystery of it, but I'll share it with you guys. But so it'll become less mysterious. But nobody really understands it. But we are a beverage creator, incubator, and accelerator. Our customer relationships are very much baked into the DNA of the company. Where we are disruptors by design. We have been for a long time. Kroger was the first one to name us their emerging beverage category captain in 2011. Mary Ellen Adcock gave us that title. Walmart, Jack Sinclair, who's now the CEO of Sprouts, when he was the chief merchant at Walmart, he named us the emerging beverage category at Walmart, captain of Walmart. So here's the good news for everybody that's on this. Like the good news is 50% of the growth in beverage is coming from brands and categories that didn't exist 5 years ago. Consumers are incredibly promiscuous, right? They want new stuff. That's the good news. The bad news is most of the new stuff fails. 98% of it fails for all the reasons that you guys were talking about before I hopped on. It is really, really hard. And that's why it takes partnerships and all those sorts of things. But back to LA Libations, you know, we are a company in a box. We create brands, we partner with brands. We have SIP, which is our SoCal incubation program, which is really where we prove concepts. So it's for pre-revenue or just starting out brands to come in. And, you know, we have coolers in our stores. We're owners of High Touch. So we have our own route to market, you know, like, because we can come in and say, hey, we want to be in pavilions, you know, and go show it to pavilions. It could be the greatest beverage ever. And they say, we love it. We'll take it. Our reset's next March. And you're like, next March, it's April. Like, what do you do for a year while you're burning through your friends and family's money and all that? Well, we have our own space in those stores. And we have our own route to market, so we're not chained to the planogram. It's taken a long time. It's been a vision of ours for about 10 years, and we're finally just accomplishing it. But then it's about proving concepts, working out the kinks. Everyone's going to change their branding. Everyone's going to change their liquid. Everyone's going to change their distributors. You show me a founder that's, you know, under $1 million in revenue and thinks their brand is perfect. I'll show you a brand that's going out of business. You know, like, you know, you would not recognize Body Armor from the day that we sold it for $8 billion. You would not recognize it from the day it was launched. Mm-hmm. It just changed, and you keep getting better and better and tinkering because you never have it right. And so you have to be very open-minded. And so I think the biggest, hardest thing about this game for an early stage founder is that balance of you're an innovator. You want to do things your way, and that's important. You got to have that, right? You got to do something new and innovative and solve a problem. But you can't be so isolationist that you won't go to people like Luke or like Dan Weisbach or whoever to like kind of be your Sherpa and guide you, you know, through all the landmines that you're about, you know, your pricing architecture. If you don't have that figured out in day one and you get to 3 million in revenue and Costco calls, you're screwed. You're dead. You're out of business. So, Your distributors will hate you. Like all these sorts of things you got to understand. And you just can't if you've never done it. There's no way you would know. So it's guys like, Mike Cesario from Liquid Death. Like he does things his way to the beat of his own drum, and you need that. But it's a really special founder like that also says, I know where my blind spots are, and I'm going to go find partners and do stuff. And usually it's people that don't have a vision and a passion. They just want to, they come to us all the time. They think we're the silver bullet. We're not a silver bullet. We're topspin, right? We fail all the time. And that, this is such a humbling game. And everybody reads, LinkedIn and says, dude, you guys are crushing it, And I always tell people, you realize we're only posting the good stuff, right? Like there's there's a lot of bad stuff that we just don't post, why would we? But you got to be real because it's a hard game. And I think that's why it's important what you guys are doing, because you need the community. You need people that, can kind of help you through the lonely time. It's a very lonely time. Like I couldn't imagine being a solo founder. With LA Libations, we've been through it. We're in a great spot at the moment. Let's hope it lasts, but we've been through it. I've faced personal bankruptcy, professional bankruptcy not that long ago. We're talking like 2019. So it's just a really hard game, and you got to be real and be honest, and you got to find great partners.
Yeah. It's such great information, Danny, that could be a whole other episode that we talk about. And I resonate with you on the whole other level, being kind of that lonely CPG founder for 10 years, and I've gone to your office like 3-4 times, right? And we've talked about it a lot, in meetings. And one thing that I also see as a misstep that a lot of founders do, and I did this with Genius Juice, is I'm like, this product is so good that it has to succeed because people are going to see the value of it when they try it. But the thing I didn't realize is to get someone to try that product for the first time is so fucking hard. Like you got to get people to break away from their habit, which would be like a competitor, whether it's Koya, Rebel, Harmless Harvest, to buy something like Genius Juice. And then there also could be brands that are way bigger than me that can just come out with the same product pretty easily and take that space. So
isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Like, because what you just said, like Genius Juice it's a great product. But you're right. Nobody knew about it. Right.
Yeah.
And Zoa was a terrible product and everybody knew about it. Right. And it was fun the first year because we were selling so much. We thought we were smart until we realized there's zero repeat because it was terrible.
Right.
So, the creator thing is definitely a cheat code, but it still always comes back to, do you have a great product?
Exactly. And so you have to get kind of the best of both worlds, which is driving trial, whether it's social media.
Alex, why don't you just sign up The Rock, dude? It could have been a beautiful thing.
Easy. That's just such an easy answer. I got to do that. You know him, so can you set up a meeting, please? So let's talk about the beverage forum real quick because we're out of time. But again, happenstance here. We'd love to bring Danny on for those that are just tuning in. The co-founder and CEO, right, of LA Libations. So tell us more about this event, Beverage Forum, coming up on April 30th through May 1st, and then we'll get you out of here to go hang out with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, super exciting. So Beverage Forum is this iconic event in our industry. It's 30 years old. So if you think about BevNet's really for the early stage brands, pre-revenue brands, and BevNet's amazing. Like everyone should go to BevNet Live. It's amazing. But it's for very early stage founders. Beverage Forum in the past has always been for all the suits, right? The big corporate titans and Wall Street analysts. And it was started by a guy named Michael Bellis. He's 84 years old now, and it's gotten quite sleepy over the years. And I've been helping him out the last couple of years, bringing retailers there. And he just called me and said, Danny, I just don't have any more gas in the tank. This is my legacy, though. I want to live on. And there's no one that I think would be a better fit than you. What do you think? So we worked out a really killer deal, a great deal for him that really honors his legacy, a great deal for us. And it ain't going to be sleepy anymore, let me tell you. So we moved it to Manhattan Beach. It's traditionally been in a hotel dungeon in Chicago. And we moved it to Manhattan Beach, and we are bringing the heat, man. Everybody's rallying. The speaker list is beyond my wildest expectations. Like I've never seen a show with this kind of speaker list. I mean, it is.
Tell us who it is.
Oh my gosh! I mean, it's easier to say who it isn't, but from the keynotes, you got Rodney Sachs, the CEO of Monster, Gavin Hattersley, the CEO of Molson Coors, Jesus Delgado, the chief merchant of 7-Eleven, Will McDonald, the head of beverages for Walmart, Rohan Oza. Do I need to say more? He's the guy behind Poppy, the guy behind Vita Coco, the guy behind Bai, the guy behind Vitamin Water. Lance Collins, my coach and mentor, Body Armor, Fuse, Nas, Core Water. TikTok Shop's going to be there. High Touch Libations is going to be there. Jason Strauss, the CEO of the Tao Group, is going to be there. We're going to have some celebrities. I'm not going to say who they are because then if they don't show up, which they often don't, I'll be a liar. But hopefully they will. KDP is there. It's just, Tom Casey, the chief merchant of Casey's. Like nobody knows this. Casey's is the 5th largest owner of liquor licenses in America. It's crazy. So everybody's coming. It's going to be, my vision for it is like, it's no longer the kids over here and the adults over here. It's, the old needs the new and the new needs the old. And it's true, right? The big strategics need all the folks that are on this, whatever this is, podcast, right? They need that innovation. That's where the consumer's going. But the whole crew on this podcast needs the big guys too, right?
Yep.
But to buy them someday or to, invest in them and give them a path to ownership and all those sorts of things. So the vision for it is it's going to be like the Allen Co. or the Davos. There's going to be a lot of deals being made. And Beverage Forum changed my life. Like I mentioned in 2019, when we were destitute and going out of business and it was very ugly, I showed up and I went to Beverage Forum and I met Pete Marino from Molson Coors and we ended up doing a deal that saved our lives. And not only that, has allowed us to thrive. And, so in this hard game, you just got to keep showing up. You never know when the good opportunity is. It's expensive for early stage guys, for Monster to write a check, it's no big deal, for a little small, $100,000 in revenue brand, it's a huge bet. But, if you, my thing is, if you don't come to this, what do you go to? So yeah. And then, we're doing the CPG startup, startup CPG. I don't know if you guys saw that, but they're doing a lightning pitch. So 15 brands will be chosen. There's still some room, I think, to get into it. There's a little discount if you go through it. 15 brands will be chosen to do 30-second pitches in front of the entire industry, like the who's who of the industry. So you should go to Startup CPG and check that out, or call Daniel or whatever you do.
So some questions on here before you go. What is the ticket price? And then is The Rock going to be there?
So will The Rock be there? God only knows. Have I asked him? Yes. But that doesn't mean he's going. He's a little bit busy, if we all haven't noticed. So, but you never know. The ticket price, I believe it's $1,400 right now. It's at the Manhattan Beach West Drift.
It's about on par with like other events like BevNet.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're trying to keep it low. And like we didn't know if anyone would show up, but it's selling out. It's selling out. Like our hotel block's already sold out, so you can't stay in the hotel where we're at. And it's just the lineup is so good, and the retailers that are there. I mean, Bristol Farms, Gelston's, Erewhon, they're all there. They're all coming. Mothers, they're all going to be there. So yeah, if you could figure out how to do it, I think it's a good investment. But everyone needs to make that own decision, as it is a big bet, a big financial decision.
Okay. All right. So we got, we're out of time, but beverageforum.com for those that are also listening after the fact. The event is in Manhattan Beach, California on April 30th through May 1st. It's a 2-day event, and you heard it from here how great the event's going to be.
Go to beverageforum.com and check out all the speakers and all you guys are putting up there. Thanks, Wade. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, Danny, thanks, my man, for hopping on.
All right,
thanks,
Wade.
Danny. Danny, good to see you.
And Wade, we got to continue the dialogue here, man. You're a free agent. Oh gosh, I didn't even see your shirt. But yeah, that's not gonna last long. So.
We'll talk soon, Danny.
You're gonna take out free. It's just gonna say agent in about a week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, I hate agents. Be a free agent. All right.
Take care, brother.
Appreciate you, Danny. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so we're going to go into the next segment, and we also have our weekly sponsor, which is Creative Kaiju. So Dean is going to join us at the very end of the episode to talk about what they do and the value that they bring. But again, you heard it here, beverageforum.com. Also now going into Creative Kaiju. But before we do, we're going to go. I just want to mention also to reset the room. We have some ongoing sponsors. Make sure to reach out to them. We have V-Driven, Master Sales Organization, Trade Spend Deduction Management. If you'd like to schedule a call, there's a link that Wade will post. It's vdriven.com/schedule-a-call, or you can just go to vdriven.com. And you can use the discount code CPG Vibes 25 to get 25% off your first month of services with V-Driven. And then we have
I was going to say that would be with Luke Abbott, who Danny spoke highly of, and Luke's chimed in during the show. So I'll talk about Range Me real quick. So listeners can get discounts on Range Me Premium and Pro subscriptions, which include benefits such as direct product submissions to retailers, access to Nielsen IQ category data, and even in-person meetings with buyers at ECRM sessions. For more details, I put the link up there, or you can scan the QR code that's on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. That's Range Me, and there's a link right there, and you'll get a discount.
Yeah, there you have it. I mean, we love just talking about all this stuff. And I know we had, had some sponsorship things mixed in. We had an unexpected drop in from Danny Stepper, who's he's probably blushing right now, is a staple in the CPG community. And he forgot to turn off his camera, so we can actually see a tour of his office right now on the bottom here in StreamYard. So, but it's just, we love talking about this because we love helping CPG brands, right? So going to Beverage Forum, right? $1,400, but you make one connection, it could change the entire face of your business, like whether it's investor, whether it's a retailer, whether it's a influencer. So we're all about helping the community and finding creative ways to do that. And like Danny said, it's just hard to survive. There's a 95% fail rate. And like he mentioned, Wade, you see a lot of the successes on LinkedIn. You're starting to see more real conversations on LinkedIn about also failures and struggles with being a founder in this business. But whatever you can do to get a leg up, getting connected with the right person, having people around you, it takes a village. That's what it's all about. And we're here, me and Wade, just to talk about that and help all the founders and VP of sales and anyone and everyone that's in the CPG business. And the more that I think about what we do, this could really be applied to any business, like the people outside of CPG. There's fundamentals on how to run a business and to think of certain things that can come up and derail you. So whether you're running, a nail salon or a storage facility, or you're running a CPG brand, this is all really, really good stuff. And me and Wade just love to share and love to help others. And that's what we're here for. And, and I reemphasize, go to our Slack channel, make sure to go there. And the Slack channel is cpgvibes.slack.com. The reason being, people are posting in there about episode ideas, about who to bring on, guest ideas to bring more value and education to the CPG community. And you can go right on our Slack channel and make suggestions. And I think, Wade, we've already taken 3 suggestions for episodes and guests in the last 2 weeks there. So we're here for you guys and gals. So, all right. So we're going to do a really quick stuff we love, Wade, because we don't have a lot of time here. And then we're going to bring on Dean here from Creative Kaiju. He's been incredibly patient. He's probably working on some different designs and graphics while he's waiting. He's keeping himself busy. But here is stuff we love in a very quick fashion. And I'm going to go over mine very, very quickly. Going to Target, getting the midday squares. So I got the cookie dough and then also the fudge or the brownie batter. The other one that I really like is valerian root. This is from Sprouts. I know LA Libations does stuff with Sprouts. This is a tincture that really helps you relax. And when I travel, it's hard for me to stay relaxed. Valerian root, I freaking love this stuff. You put it into some water, mix it, and drink it. So for those that love valerian, shout out my valerian bros out there. All right, Wait, how about you?
I'm gonna make mine real quick, Alex. So this isn't a product, but in the spirit of my last day, I love my team. They got me this awesome card
Oh,
that kind of saying goodbye, good wishes, all that good stuff. So there's my card. Love you guys. Thank you. But beyond that, excuse me, I'm a sucker for hop water, and this isn't hop water the brand. This is Sierra Nevada's brand, which
we're
is
getting
the
into it.
hop splash. It's good stuff. So cheers.
Cheers. Goes to show you that, man, when you get into an industry that starts growing like non-alc, watch out because others are going to come into it and copy you. And that's kind of what happened with hop water. So I think the other thing to top it off is speed to market. That if you're going to come out with something fucking kick ass, that could be really just awesome and go into retail, make sure you have the money to do it quickly and a team to execute quickly to make sure that even if a competitor comes out, they're not going to replace or derail you from what you're doing. And I think Midday Squares, other brands have done a great job there. So our guest, and number one, I'm just going to talk about our weekly sponsor, then bring on Dean, is Creative Kaiju. We have a script here, about them being a design agency. They have an unlimited graphic design platform program, which is $5.99 a month, which saves you thousands and thousands of dollars versus hiring, a full-time graphic designer. And we'll bring them on about 20 seconds here, but we've been with Creative Kaiju, Genius Juice, for almost 2 years now, almost 3 years, and I love it. And when I say Genius Juice, both the brand side, plus I have a consulting agency called Genius Dreams, where I help clients in crowdfunding and things of that nature. So we do a lot of designs on there. Their designers are amazing. It's simple. You submit it into a portal. They update you. The turnaround is 24 to 48 hours. The images look fantastic. I'm actually going to show some sample images on the screen here while Dean is talking. But Dean, we don't have a lot of time, but we definitely want to give you your time on the floor here to talk. So here is Dean Carmichael. He is the owner of Creative Kaiju. Dean, good to meet you.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Dean?
I'm pretty good. It's cold and rainy because I'm in the Toronto area, but that's normal up here. So
right on.
Yeah. Well, tell us again. Thanks for waiting so patiently. We had some good unexpected things happen on the show. But tell us about Creative Kaiju, and keep in mind, everyone, to tune in that we're going to be giving away a prize worth a lot of money under Creative Kaiju to get design services. But tell us more about you and about what Creative Kaiju is.
Sure. So I'm the founder of Creative Kaiju. I'm an entrepreneur as well. So I've had a few other businesses, mostly local service, but some others as well. So when you're an entrepreneur, you keep your eyes open for any gaps in the market, and we always need design. So whenever I've had a business, I've had to get my website, my branding, social media graphics, lots of other things done. And working with freelancers can be erratic. It can be very difficult to find the right freelancer, and agencies are very expensive and they're kind of slow. So there's definitely I saw the room for a service that could sort of help a lot of businesses push forward. So we actually work with a lot of CPG brands and other product-based businesses, DTC businesses, some SaaS customers, and lots of marketing departments and agencies as well. And we've created a platform where it's you get a lot of the benefits of all the other options. So it's a lot cheaper than using an agency or hiring your own designer. A lot simpler and more effective than using a freelancer. Our plans basically start from $5.99. We have another plan where we have the video editing as well, and we've actually introduced a new plan where you can have a full-time designer as well, and that's also at the fraction of a cost of hiring locally.
Awesome. And I'm showing some pictures. Are they coming through clear here?
Yeah, that's some of the recent stuff we did.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is one of my clients, Eighth Wonder, who's also going with Creative Kaiju as well. But you can see that this is all, I just literally sent them, hey, here's a can. Please put this somewhere in Tibet or Nepal, some spiritual area in the background, and have all the ingredients. That's all I said. Like, I didn't supply any of this. I just supplied the can, and this is what they came up with. And it just looks so beautiful and professionally done for a service that is way less than hiring a full-time designer. So it's pretty mind-blowing stuff, man. And so how many designers do you have working for you right now, and where are they from? Are they all over the world, or tell us more about your team?
Yeah, so we have about 14 designers at the moment. They're based in different parts of the world, so for different time zones. But the majority are based in the Philippines, and our managers are based in the US or Canada. So we also have some designers in South America as well. So basically, depends on the time zone. The majority of our customers are American, so they work Eastern hours to try to sort of keep to that schedule. But we also have some customers in Europe and Asia as well.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, we're going to give out, we're going to keep you on here, right, to keep you top of mind on this episode. Again, if anyone wants information, what's the best way to reach out to you? Is it what email, LinkedIn? Tell us.
Well, you can find us on the web at creativekaiju.com. You can book a meeting or you can sign up directly. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. And I'm not sure if it was mentioned earlier, so I'll just bring it up now. We actually have a discount coupon for anybody listening or watching, which is CPG Vibes for 25% off your first month. And just to add, our subscriptions are really flexible. So there's no contracts. If you need to use us for a month, you can do that and you can cancel and you can resume at a later date when you need more graphics done. And you can scale up as well. So if you need, we have some customers who have larger needs, and they actually have multiple designers working for them. So really flexible. And if you're interested, CPG Vibes for 25% off.
Awesome. Okay,
Awesome.
so
I
go
was going
ahead.
to say,
Go ahead,
I
Wade.
just threw Dean's LinkedIn profile in the chat, so you can look at that. And again, CPG Vibes for a discount. That's huge to help save on their already very reasonable rates. So check out. We had the link for Creative Kaiju earlier. There's the link for Dean's profile himself. So please reach out, mention CPG Vibes, and Dean and his team will hook you up.
Yeah, and I will mention too, from running Genius Juice for nearly 11 years and going through every freelancer design agency, you know, I feel like how professional Creative Kaiju is for an agency, especially where you have Dean and then you have 14 designers, right? Where it seems like, wow, and they're all over the world. Is it really, are they on it? Do they get what you need? They nail it sometimes on the first try, which is really, really shocking because a lot of designers, you have to go back and forth many times. So I still go back and forth a little bit with them, but they just nail it. They know exactly what to do. They're true artists and designers. I mean, these are not just, 15-year-old kids that are around the world, right? These are professionals that are on his team. And we saved with Genius Juice tens of thousands of dollars going with Creative Kaiju. So,
And Dean, did you see
great.
there? We had a quick question there. If you do graphics for Instagram.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We do Instagram graphics on a daily basis for multiple clients. That's actually a pretty common request for many companies. They usually like to have a pipeline for like the month ahead, and they'll submit as many projects as they want, and they'll get Instagram posts done for like every business day or every day. And just to add to what you were saying, Alex, yes, there's a process sometimes to getting revisions done, which is why we also have unlimited revisions. So you can submit a project and you can go back and forth until it gets to exactly where you want it to be.
Awesome.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So they're very flexible and it's all online. It's all through just basically creativekaiju.com. So it's simple. So the prize is going to be a free 7-day trial. And if you need to get graphics done, right, and you need to get 20 of them done, 30 of them done, 10 of them done, go back and forth, unlimited revisions, you can get a lot done in 7 days if you have a project coming up. And then if you love them, which I'm sure you will, you'll hire them ongoing and then get that discount in the first month with the CPG Vibes discount code. So what we do usually, Dean, is that we ask a question, something that we mentioned somewhere in this episode, and then someone answers. And if they answer correctly, the first one to answer, they will win your prize with Creative Kaiju. So I know you just hopped on, Dean, but you were listening in for a while. Is there something you picked up from the episode that could be a trivia question, something we mentioned in the episode that would be hard to answer? Anything you can think of? If not, we'll come up with it because we're putting you on the spot a little bit. Or something you mentioned about your business.
Let's see here. I guess I'll have you guys decide.
Okay, yeah, it's hard. We didn't prep you for any of this because
Yeah.
we don't roll like that.
We don't.
We don't
I was
roll.
going to say, yeah, exactly.
We don't roll like that. So let's see. Something that Danny said would be a really good one that we can talk about. Let's see. Okay, I got a good one. The first year of Zoa, what revenue did they do? The Rocks brand.
Good stuff.
The first year, where Danny said everyone bought the product once and then didn't buy it again, and now they retooled it.
Good stuff. So we'll wait for that to come in. And I learned after experimenting a little bit today that there absolutely is a little bit of a delay versus watching on your phone versus watching on your computer. So we'll see how long it takes for something to come in here.
I can't answer this. Not allowed. Okay, so that's the answer. It looks like Allison Clay. There's a few that came in.
Ooh.
So I guess I guess Melissa must represent Zoa or something because she can't answer that.
Let me look
so,
here.
Allison Clay got it, and I'm double checking it. Actually,
it was Allison.
Yeah, on LinkedIn it says Gavin.
No, Allison. I think Allison was first.
Beat it out. Okay,
Allison then Gavin. Yeah.
Okay, got it. 27 or so. Dan Weisbach. I think he's kidding around. All right, so hopefully more than $27 in a year. That's like a startup that's in pre-revenue mode that's sold at a farmer's market for one day on the Sunday. All right, so Allison is the winner. Make sure to email cpgvibes100@gmail.com. And then going back to it, our weekly sponsor, again, going back, is Creative Kaiju. Make sure to go to Creative. And Creative Kaiju, by the way, is spelled creative, like it's spelled creative. Kaiju is spelled KAIJU.com. And you can also direct message Dean Carmichael on LinkedIn. He is the founder of Creative Kaiju. A couple other reminders, our ongoing sponsors. We got V-Driven and Range Me. And also make sure to join our Slack channel, which is cpgvibes.slack.com. And then if you'd like to be a sponsor on our episode, we have cpgvibes100@gmail.com. Make sure to reach out to us. And you get block rates if you get 3 episodes, 5 episodes. And then also give us 5 stars. That's easy. Just go on Apple Podcasts. Dean, he's going to look at his phone right after this and give us 5. I think he probably already did. But you go to Apple Podcasts, CPG Vibes, and give us 5 stars so we can continue growing this real special show that I think, Wade, we're having a blast doing this. This is so much fun.
We are. And so as we work through hashtag work with Wade, I'll be doing a lot of cool stuff for the podcast coming up here. So stay tuned for that as we work through what that is. Foreshadowing, right?
Exactly. Very, very, very foreshadowing. And then thank you, Kenny, just a shout out. Oh, there he's doing it. That's an Apple phone, I can tell. Boom. We're at 230 now. We are at 229. Now we're at 230. Number 1. Thank you, Dean. The number 1 rated CPG podcast in North America. And then Kenny, thank you. I will enjoy Chi Town. I'm here in Chicago for those that are just tuning in for the Specialty Coffee Expo. And then also, got to mention this next week. This is exciting. So, Dean, do you watch Shark Tank at all?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So,
I saw you on there. I actually looked it up. Yeah, initially.
Yep, that's exactly right. Exactly right. I remember around 20. Actually, it's been more than a couple years since we hired. I think it's been like 4 years. So, time flies.
Yeah.
So, next week we're having a special Shark Tank episode called Outside the Tank. We're going to have Michael Pan from Pan's Mushroom Jerky, Sean Riley from Dude Wipes, Jake DeLeon from Vanilla Milla, right? I think I'm messing that up. We're gonna have Paul Vogie, and from Ora Bora. We're gonna have Kendra Bennett, and from her honey company, from Bomb Honey, and then we're gonna have Kirsten Maitland, and she is with Rebel Cheese. So make sure to tune in next week, 2:30, 5:30 Eastern, and then next week's sponsor is Social Nature. So they're going to be sponsoring our show again. So good stuff there. So everyone take care. And then before we go, we always ask this, what are we doing this weekend? Start with you, Wade, then we'll go to you, Dean, and then we'll adjourn.
I've got a buddy from Ohio that's anxiously awaiting me on the other side of that door. So we're going to go celebrate hashtag work with Wade and my freedom this weekend, and just going to hang out and just let loose a little bit.
All right, Dean, how about you? What's going on in Canada this weekend?
Well, it's still going to be cold. So what I'm doing is preparing to go out to Southeast Asia for a while. I've been a digital nomad for like a couple of years. I'm back here for some business and stuff, but I'll be leaving again. So just got to make some preparations for that.
Awesome. It's cool that you can work from anywhere, right? That's kind of
It's great. You got to love
living
the
the
internet, that opportunity.
living the dream. You open a laptop and that's your office. So,
Yeah.
and I'll be here in Chi-Town for the Specialty Coffee Expo.
Well,
So,
Chicago's amazing. Enjoy. I hope you get a chance to check it out.
yeah, I've been out a couple times just taking care of my son. My wife's at the show, but I did walk around Cermak Street, Michigan, and I also went to Fresh Time. And I gotta just
Kenny Houseman.
shout them out here. And I did a post about Fresh Time. To have my bag here full of stuff, and love first time ever stepping into a Fresh Time ever in my life yesterday, and blew me away to say the least. So, all right, everyone. Well, take good care. Have a wonderful weekend. Wade, love you, buddy. Dean, thank you for hopping on and sponsoring us. And we will catch you all next week right here for the Outside the Tank episode.
Have a
Bye,
good
everyone.
weekend, guys.
Bye, guys.